On 2nd November 2025, ISRO launched GSAT-7R, India's heaviest communication satellite, designed to enhance naval command, control, and secure communication. Beyond its technological achievement, this mission offers a rare vantage point to understand how science, strategy, and policy converge. It exemplifies India's push for strategic autonomy, strengthens maritime security under the Sagar vision, and directly links to doctrines like the Gujarat Doctrine and India's Act East policy. For UPSC aspirants, GSAT-7R is a live case study cutting across GS Paper 3 themes of science, technology, and defense, as well as GS Paper 2 debates on foreign policy, regional security, and India's role in the Indo-Pacific, showing how a single satellite embodies national power, governance, and diplomacy. Hello everyone, I am Nayangiri Gosavi, and this is Current to Concept, where we go beyond the headlines to build the conceptual clarity that every UPSC aspirant needs. Let's dig into this important milestone in India's space journey and its relevance that goes beyond just launching of a satellite. Weighing more than 4,400 kilograms and carried by the LVM-3M5 aka Bahubali rocket, this mission is not just a scientific breakthrough. It's a decisive step in India's long-term pursuit of reshaping its strategic capabilities in both space and the Indian Ocean region. Strategic thinkers like Barry Buzan have long argued that modern power is exercised not only on land and sea, but also across new domains like space. GSAT-7R fits precisely into this shift, for it is not a civilian communication satellite, but it is built specifically for the Indian Navy, adding a completely new layer of capability to India's command and control architecture in the Indian Ocean region. It replaces the decade-old GSAT-7 Rukmini, which transformed naval communications when it was launched in 2013. GSAT-7R is the next leap. It gives India secure, high-bandwidth communication across the entire Indian Ocean landscape, enabling the Navy to operate as a coherent, connected force. But the larger story is about direction and ambition. Scholars like C. Raja Mohan emphasize that the Indian Ocean is becoming the central theater of geopolitical competition, and that India's rise will be determined by its capacity to secure its maritime neighborhood. In that sense, GSAT-7R is part of a broader reimagining of maritime strategy. Launched aboard the LVM-3M5, GSAT-7R also demonstrates how far India's heavy lift capability has evolved. The mission tested in-orbit re-ignition of the cryogenic stage, capability essential for deeper, more sophisticated missions ahead. These are the kinds of technologies that quietly build the foundation of a long-term space program in India. The mission also reflects how India's space ecosystem is changing. The Indian space policy of 2023 opened up the sector for private participation under InSpace, creating what experts such as G. Balachandran describes as a transition from a state-led model to a national innovation architecture. Even though GSAT-7R is a defense satellite, it sits within this wider transformation where ISRO, private firms, and defense agencies are moving toward a more integrated future. For the Navy, the satellite carries very practical operational value. It strengthens maritime domain awareness, supports real-time coordination among ships, submarines, and aircraft, and ensures encrypted communication during long-range operations. As China expands Baidu-enabled naval platforms across the Indo-Pacific, GSAT-7R helps India maintain technological assurance in its own maritime sphere. And within the IR discipline, this perfectly illustrates the realist principle articulated by Kenneth Walls, that self-reliant capabilities enhance national security more reliably than the alliances. By developing heavy satellites and launching them domestically on the LVM-3, India reduces its strategic dependencies, especially in a domain as sensitive as military communication. The story doesn't end with the launch. ISRO also performed a successful upper stage reignition experiment using the cryogenic C-25 engine. This capability may sound technical, but it has dramatic implications. It allows satellites to be placed into multiple orbits in the same mission, a capacity required far more complex multi-satellite launches and for future deep space maneuvers. This experiment strengthens India's readiness for the Gaganyaan human spaceflight mission and future modular station capabilities. In many ways, this is a precursor to the next phase of India's ambition in space. At the same time, we must recognize the challenges here. As scholars highlight, space is becoming increasingly contested. Military communication satellites are potential targets during conflict and must be protected through anti-jamming, cyber-secure mechanisms and resilient architecture. India must also navigate global norms such as the Outer Space Treaty while responding to competition, especially with China's expanding military space infrastructure. Thus, this mission raises important policy questions as to how should India protect critical space assets in an era when anti-satellite capabilities are expanding? How do we balance military requirements with commercial innovation? And what role should India play in shaping global norms on responsible use of the outer space? Having discussed this, let's turn to the part as to where and how you can integrate this one topic UPSC preparation. GSAT-7R is not only a space event, it is a foreign policy instrument. Now one might wonder how so? The launch of GSAT-7R seamlessly ties into India's broader foreign policy doctrines. It strengthens the spirit of Gujarat Doctrine by projecting non-coercive but credible maritime capabilities that contribute to neighborhood stability. It directly advances the Sagar Doctrine, providing the naval backbone for enhanced maritime domain awareness across the entire Indian Ocean. It also complements the Act East policy of India by deepening India's maritime connectivity and cooperative security mechanism with Southeast Asian partners. And above all, it embodies the ethos of strategic autonomy, signaling India's growing ability to rely on indigenous space defense technologies rather than external powers. GSAT-7R also reflects India's realist security posture, even as it continues engaging in global cooperative frameworks for space governance. In polity and governance, this illustrates regulatory norms, particularly the role of in-space, the restructuring of the space sector, and the balance between innovation and security. You can also mention this under debates on the Outer Space Treaty, Global Commons, demilitarization, the ASAT, that is anti-satellite weapons, and emerging norms. For GS Paper 3, GSAT-7R is a perfect example of dual-use technologies, space security linkage, and the transformation of India's research ecosystem. Finally, use the issue of increasing militarization of space for the GSAT-7R becomes an example of responsible militarization, as India advocates peaceful use of space yet continues to build defensive capabilities. To conclude, India's space ambitions have dramatically expanded, from early bicycle-carrying rockets to launching its heaviest satellite with the GSLV Mark III. This evolution showcases a nation's journey towards self-reliance, with India clearly positioning itself to play a larger role in the global space order. Seen from that perspective, GSAT-7R is not merely a technological upgrade, but a calibrated instrument of India's strategic statecraft that reinforces its long-term vision of space and maritime power. If this session has enriched your perspective or your UPSC preparation, don't forget to follow the channel for more such timely updates. You'll find today's notes in the description box. Thank you and keep learning.